the funniest show in the world, more specifically on Amazon Live. With loads of crafts and cooking, you can follow along. The Fresh and Felicia Show. This is the Fresh and Felicia Show.
Hey now, Fresh and Felicia. We're talking about electric bikes today. I'm so excited. Oh wait, what am I wearing? Where's my face? Oh, have you seen this groovy face mask? They're actually sunglasses that are like a face mask, one of those medical face masks. What's cool about these is the application for not just electric bikes, but all bikes. Let's take a closer look. What these will do is keep the bugs out of your eyes, nose, and mouth when you ride your bike. And they also offer UVA, UVB protection. So if you're skin sensitive, this will help keep your skin nice and healthy. Pretty cool, huh? Want to try them on? What do you think? These are pretty sweet, especially when you're going into the wind. It's like a motorcycle visor. Do you know how they have those pull-down visors on motorcycle helmets? Well, now you can do that with a bicycle helmet. Or if you choose to not wear a helmet, like in one of the, I think, 29 states where you don't have to wear a helmet while riding a bicycle or e-bicycle, hint, hint, like Florida. Sometimes you don't wear a helmet. Sometimes a lot of people don't. You don't have to wear a helmet in Florida riding a motorcycle either. But still, it's important to keep stuff out of your eyes because if you can't see, you can't be safe, right? Always a good idea to wear a helmet if you want to. But, Hey, Doris, good to see you. Thanks for joining in today. Hey, the rest of you people, I see there's a bunch of people popping up some of the other channels. If you're watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, wherever, come over to amazon.com/live, chat with us, shop in real time, and follow us. That helps us out a bunch. But these are pretty cool. I can see Doris wearing these. I am Robot Doris. How are you today? You have to talk like a robot when you do this. I wear this to rest. Nobody's wearing these yet. So if you're a fashion trendsetter, if you're a TikToker, this is probably the next big thing. Mark, you heard it here first. Amazon Live, copyright, trademark 2022, Chuck Fresh. All right, so we're talking about the Wtva foldable electric bike today. Why? Because it is awesome. It is one of Felicia's favorite bikes, and it's one of the few electric bikes you can get in red. How cool is this? Now, they used to have, I'm not sure if it's still on the website, but they had them in yellow, black, and some other colors too. I think black is the only color. They must have sold out all the other ones. This is a neat bike. I'm going to tell you all the features about this thing because it is very, very cool. And it's very affordable too. How much is this bike?
It is $11.99.
$11.99. What?
But $60 coupon.
$60 coupon off this guy. Now it's a little bit more money than some of the other bikes, but still, in the grand scheme of things, I've seen some of the bikes made by a big motorcycle manufacturer that charges $5,000 and up for a bike that's pretty much made in the same factory with the same specifications, with the same options, maybe even less than this bike has. So that is a great price. We're trying to keep them under about $1,500 this fall, square within there. Let me tell you about all the things this bike has. This is insane. The most impressive thing I saw about this bike is it comes from the factory in this ginormous box, 95% assembled. That is not an exaggeration. I think all I had to do on this thing was just attach the handlebars and the front wheel and put the seat on. That was it. And I tell people, if you can put together furniture, like IKEA furniture or stuff that you bought on Amazon, if you can assemble that, you can put these together. It is not rocket science. All the hard stuff's already done. The gears are here in place. The brakes are adjusted perfectly. The motor is where it's supposed to be. All you need to do is attach a couple of things like a front wheel, which is a couple of nuts, real easy to do. Your seat, you just pop it in, no tools necessary, and put your handlebars in. That's it. Super simple. All the hard stuff, all the wiring is already done. So I think I would go to say that just about anybody could assemble this bike. I think even Felicia could have put this together. You know what I mean? And that's saying something. Now, Felicia's smarter than she looks. So 95% assembled. I dig that. And it is foldable, which I'm not going to show you right now because we'll have to do that again later. The last fiasco, the last show. Whew. Actually, did it again downstairs. Snap. Battery came right up. All right. So it's foldable. And why is that important? Because you can take this anywhere. You can go to the beach, you go to the park, all those places you've always wanted to ride your bike, but you couldn't because it's too far away or too long of a ride or too dangerous to ride your bike to get to that place. Now you can fold this guy up, put it in the back of your SUV or even some trunks or even some back seats. You can even put this on buses and trains and fold this guy up. And if you live in a small place like an apartment, you don't have a lot of space to store stuff, you could tuck this into a closet because it is completely foldable. Look how small that is. How cool is that? Just a tiny little. I'm going to do it for you live on this show. So hang around for that. So what's the deal with this thing? Like most of these e-bikes we're talking about are electric bikes. 3 ways to ride it. Number one, first and foremost, it's a what?
It's a bike.
It's a bicycle. You can pedal it. It has 7 gears. So you can pedal it uphill through grass, wherever you need to go on this thing. You ride it like a bicycle. You can ride it like what I call a heavy bicycle. Keep the battery motor on here, and it actually requires more effort to pedal this thing to get it to places. So this essentially is a bicycle workout times 2 or 3. So a lot of people will do that. They'll buy these e-bikes, use the power sparingly when they need them. If you're exhausted, if you're riding into the wind, if there's a hill you just don't want to tackle, you're just tired, don't want to do it anymore, you kick on the electricity then. That's the second mode. It's the pedal assist mode, where it actually kicks in a little motor juice, a little extra effort when it detects your pedaling through something called a cadence sensor. Little magnets in here. And the more you pedal, the more juice it's going to give you. And you adjust the onboard computer and said, all right, I want pedal assist level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You tell it what you want, and it does it for you. If you don't want pedal assist, you could turn it off and ride it like a bicycle. Or there's a half twist throttle on things like a motorcycle. You twist the throttle, it does all the work for you. You don't have to pedal at all if you don't want to. And that's fun when you're riding on the beach or flat areas. It's actually really cool. If you stand up on the pedals and just ride like a beach, it's kind of like you're a bird flowing along the shoreline. And that's what I like to do when I'm on the beach. So 3 ways to ride it. You can pedal it like a bicycle, no power whatsoever. Save the battery until you need it. Number 2, pedal assist. 5 levels of pedal assist gives you a little bit more with each one of those levels, up to 28 miles an hour. And just full throttle. Ride it like a motorcycle if you want to. You don't have to pedal at all. Now, this is a big motor. It's a 750 watt brushless gear motor. What does that mean? It means it's super powerful. It's considered a class 3 electric bicycle, which will get you up to about 28 miles an hour. That's in flat area, the wind helping you out, perfect situation. Assuming you don't weigh 700 pounds, you're going to get this thing up to 28. I'm not going to lie, I've had this bike up to a 33. But that's why I was pedaling my little heart out the wind on my back, and I had this thing rocking, man. It was scary going that fast on a bicycle. I'm not going to lie. So 28, that's nothing. In a car, it seems like you're crawling. But when you're out there, you're facing the wind. I mean, 28's fast. And if you fall at 28, you're going to mess yourself up. So you need to take these things seriously. Wear some protection. Wear a helmet. Wear some gloves, some padded stuff too, because you're approaching the speeds of motorized vehicles. This is a motorized vehicle, is really what it is.
So Doris wants to know if Fresh steals food from beachgoers like a bird would too.
I haven't done that yet, but Doris always comes up with the best ideas. And every time she says something like that, I take it like a dare. And like the next day or two, I'll actually do it. So I'll probably be stealing hot dogs on the beach in Florida. So watch out in the next day or two, because you can go fast enough, because nobody can run 28 miles an hour. They're not going to be able to catch you. So that is definitely a possibility. Definitely.
So Jack is back.
Jack, what's going on?
And he said that thing goes faster than cars there in New York City.
That's true. That's true. As a matter of fact, technically, in some of the speed zones here, if you're doing 28 and a 25, you can get a speeding ticket on. Think about that for a second. 25 miles an hour through some of these residential neighborhoods. If you're popping 28 and a cop's sitting there with a radar gun, you can technically get a speeding ticket for riding this bike. And that is nuts. You get a speeding ticket for riding a bike, but it's towed. So make sure you follow your local laws and regulations. Remember, ignorance is not a defense when it comes to the law. That's your non-legal advice for today. Let's talk about the battery. It's got a 48 volt, 13 amp hour removable lithium ion battery. The range, they're going to ask me 25 to 48 miles. Again, it depends on a whole bunch of stuff, including the hills you're riding on, how much you weigh, the direction the wind's going on, how inflated your tires are, how many times you stop and start. Remember, you want to do pedal assist. Give it a little bit of help every time you can, and the battery will last a little longer for you. You'll be able to go a little further, a little faster. And there is something called battery anxiety, or there actually, again, it is. It's people get scared. I'm like, well, I want to take this bike out to this park, but it's 10 miles from here. What if I run out of battery? Well, you won't have that problem if you top it off every time you ride it. Just take the battery out of the case, which I'm going to show you. You can do that and charge it up in your house every time you ride it, and just attach it. Or when you're at work, if you ride it to work, charge it at work. You can pedal assist on your starts because the battery has to apply more energy to the motor when you're starting off from a dead stop. When you're riding up hills, make sure you pedal a little bit, put it in the low gear and just ride up those hills and give it a little bit of help. And you can just pedal. Remember, you just pedal. If this thing does run out of battery, just pedal it home. It's a bicycle.
All
What's
right.
up?
Simon says, is it legal to ride on sidewalks, or do you have to use it on the roads with much faster cars? In the US, I'm guessing it varies state by state.
First of all, I want to address a couple of things there. You just said Simon says. Right? And you just said that. And Simon, do you run into that problem a lot? Because my name is Simon, I would just change it immediately. Simon says, do people just do? You probably be a great boss because you have to do whatever you say, right? All right, that's problem number one. Problem number two, here in the United States, they're a lot more liberal. In Europe, they do have a lot more tough laws. I don't think you can have throttles in Europe, if I'm correct. And I don't think you're allowed to go over 20 miles an hour or whatever that is in kilometers in Europe. So there are a lot more laws in Europe. They're a lot easier in the United States. Most of the states, including Florida, you don't have to wear a helmet. You can ride bicycles on sidewalks, and they don't care if it's an electric or regular. Actually, in Florida, I think almost all the electric bikes follow the same laws as regular bikes. It means you can ride them on the street, you can ride them on the sidewalk, you can ride them with pedestrians. You have to get pedestrians right away. You can ride them with traffic if you go fast enough on the street and the traffic has to stop. There are some laws that protect bikers, meaning that if there is a bicycle in the right lane, the car has to yield to the bike making the right turn or going straight. They have to wait for you to do that for bike safety. So it really depends on the state. So there's really 50 or 51, 52 different sets of laws if you talk about the territories too.
So first of
It's a
all,
great question. Thank you, Simon.
First of all, Simon says,
Oh,
and
God.
he gets that all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But wait, he says, thank you. And he says also, if you can take out the battery to charge it, can you buy a spare battery that you would take with you?
Absolutely. I believe you can buy a Wtva spare battery right here on Amazon. I think they sell them here. But let's do that. Let's talk about the battery now. We're going to go into it. So it's got a key battery for safety, and this is really cool. So for this one, it doesn't have the flip top like that other bike we looked at. So if you want to take the battery off in here, you have to use the quick release lever to take the seat off. So let's do that. And it's real easy to do. One little lever, and you just pop the seat off. Got your seat. Now you have access to the battery here. And it does have a key in the side, and you can't see it. I guess I got to turn it around. All right, let's turn her around so you can see that. I knew there'd be manual labor involved in this, Felicia. Every one of these shows. Pardon my B backside-ish. How do I say that on Amazon? Let's take a look at this. Move the microphone over. Huh? I remember this time. We're using the professional mics today in the studio. We have boom mics. You can't even see it, can you? It's like a Hollywood set in here. So basically, you have a key. It comes with two keys. They're keyed specifically to this battery. It won't work with any other battery. And if you do lose the key, you can never use the bike again if it's not on the on position. Actually, you can't put it on the on position. So you can't remove it either. So you have to have a locksmith come out, drill the lock in the battery and remove it. So don't lose these keys. I don't think you can make copies of them either.
So Simon wants to know where you got this color bike. The one that we have linked on Amazon is the black one.
The black one. They did have other colors. I'm assuming they sold out. Hopefully they'll get more inventory. But yeah, I love this color. I mean, you could get a black one and paint it. We actually considered covering them in vinyl. Remember, we're going to cover the whole thing in vinyl, right?
And there's Doris. More important, can Felicia operate the Cricut?
She can Cricut. Yeah, we were going to do actually when we're done with our demonstrations. Felicia's actually going to Cricut one of her bikes up with complete vinyl, like sparkly vinyl. I'm going to have you do one of mine too. All right, so this is the key. So you take it out, pop it in, keep it somewhere safe, and then you take it and I'm trying to do this backwards. Put it in the unlock position, and the battery is removable. And what this does is a couple of things. You could take it out and charge it in your home or office. So that's pretty neat, right? And it gives you that capability to have a second battery. So if this battery runs out and you get another one on your back, because you can carry extra batteries with you or keep one at the office or in wherever else you want to keep one, you can change that battery and pop another one in there at your will, which is really cool. They are fused, which is nice. So if anything weird goes on with this battery, instead of exploding, the fuse is going to kick out and it's not going to send any voltage where it's not supposed to. So that's nice. And it has a little slot on the back. And again, it is lockable to the bike. So if somebody's walking by your bike and the key is not in your bike, they're not going to be able to steal your battery. These do have a street value. They're kind of pricey. So to pop it back in, you just slide it down the rail here, push it down, and then twist it, take the key out. But you need the key to operate this, to put this in the electric mode. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So that's another security feature. So it will be locked to your bike. If you need to leave it somewhere, turn it to the on position, and you are good to go. This one doesn't have a horn on it, does it? It's my horn. All right, so a key battery for safety. I actually have it on as in pedal assist 0. Always check that. That's another hint. Since they do have a throttle, it has been known that people will take their bikes and when they're moving them inside and they're powered on and you're in a pedal assist mode, the throttle will move the bike. It will move forward. So if you're not expecting that, it could run into a wall and trip you up and cause all kinds of other weird things. So that is pretty cool that this comes off and you can take that out and pop it in there. And then the seat should just slide back in there. Of course, it never works that easy. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's going to be a good day. And just pop that to the right place. Make sure it's straight. It's got a quick release. You can. Some people change the seats out, but you don't have to. This is actually a really nice seat in this bike. It's pretty cushy. But you can change these out. A lot of people do the Cloud 9, some of the other seats. If that's what you want, whatever floats your boat, that's great.
How long does the battery last?
Well, this battery, let me see here, is going to last 25 to 48 miles. Are you talking about how many charges? We're talking about that. The factory, I think they use major manufacturer cells from like Panasonic, LG, Samsung. And I believe that most of these batteries are rated from 500 to 900 charge cycles. And that's from empty to full. So if you do that every day, it'll take you through 3 years. So keep that as a benchmark. You're probably not going to charge it more than once a day, but it could happen. So this battery is going to last quite a while for you, and it's going to get you through a lot of range as well. And again, you can buy extras if you want to. If you feel it's not working anymore, swap it out. Put another one on there. Comes with a 7-speed Shimano shifter. Why is that important? Not important if you're riding it in electric mode, but if you want to ride it as a traditional bicycle, the 7 speeds are going to give you the ability to climb hills easier, to start out a little easier. You can shift from 1 to 7, 1 being the easiest pedal, 7 being the most difficult. Front and rear suspension. Well, this one has front suspension, so you can lock it out too. And if you turn it on, you can actually see that thing push down. So if you're going over bumpy roads, dirt roads, grass, curbs, potholes and stuff, depending where you live, you put that front suspension on and it'll help give you a smoother ride. You've got front and rear disc brakes. So that's pretty sweet too. It's going to be able to stop you a little bit easier, a little bit more accurately, a little more gusto, especially when you're upwards of 28 miles an hour. You're going to need to stop and start. And those disc brakes are going to be able to help you do that. And this also has front and rear lights. Is she on? So you turn the light on, hold the plus button down on this, and it should turn the light on. Did I do that? I can't see it. The light on?
No.
Plus on. There it is. So yeah, you've got a front light, and it's pretty bright, a really nice LED front. You hold it again, it turns it off. It also has walk assist. So be careful if you hit that minus button.
What does walk assist mean?
You used that the other day, didn't you? You should explain what it is. You're on my group. Walk assist is pretty. Is the bat? No, it doesn't have brake lights.
Brake lights on.
It is?
Yeah.
I can't see it. Wait, let me turn the lights on.
Yep.
Oh, I can't see it. You can see it. Okay, so it does have brake lights. All right, cool. So what is walk assist? Walk assist is a mode that if you're walking through dirt or sand or grass or something where it's a little harder to push the bike, or if you're going up some hills, walk assist is going to give you a little bit of a motor assist. It's going to do like 3-4 miles an hour. So you just hang on to that minus button and it'll help you walk along. It's a little easier.
Getting it through the sand on the beach.
Through the sand on the beach, right? Uphill on the sand on the beach. So that's pretty cool. Hey, if you're watching this on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, come over to amazon.com/live. You could chat with us in real time, ask us questions. I see there's some chats lighting up on some of the other stuff, but I can't get to those because It's just two of us here today. You got a little orange light under chat. That means somebody on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, somewhere has asked us the questions. Come over to amazon.com/live and we can address your questions there. I do apologize for that. All right, so we talked about some of the features, and this is nice. Got them big 4-inch. Do I have to show the tires again? Oh, the rear rack standard too. That's nice. I actually have my phone sitting in there. And it's got like a mouse trap thing. It's like spring loaded. That's pretty cool. So check these tires out. These are pretty cool. I like the big 4-inch chunky tires. Can I lift it up here? Look at these tires. You can see there's still sand in those bad boys. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? They are filled with air. They're not solid, and that's a good thing. So that is going to give you a little bit better ride. You hear me grunting here. The bike weighs about 59, 60 pounds. So it's a little tough on a deadlift. So if you're putting it, again, it is foldable, but you're going to need a little bit of strength to get this in the back of a car if you are taking it somewhere. And you have to lift it up on an SUV. So if you have a ramp, that's great. If you don't, it can be done. Just have 2 people do it. So the 4-inch tires are going to give you a better grip. They're going to give you a smoother ride, and they're good for all terrain. And again, we took this on the beach, and this thing handled the beach like a champ. Front suspension is going to take out some of those bumps from the front. We're on the beach here, but you can't see that. That's too blown out. Nice front suspension, like a shock absorber. And you could turn those off too if you're riding on nice flat pavement. You don't need it. You could turn them off. And again, you can fold this guy up and take it anywhere. Do I have to do the folding exhibition now?
Yep.
I do?
Yes.
I do?
Yes. Yep.
I do?
Yep.
I do?
Yep.
Let's do it. So let's turn this guy around so you can see this.
Doris wants to know about feature trailers for Emma or other bereaved kids.
About trail. Oh yeah, you could put a little thing on the back here. It's got more than enough weight capacity to handle you, your dog, or a small kid. All right, so in the front, I'm trying to move this so you can see it, and I don't think you can. All right, well, anyway, there's a latch here. So you have to do, it's a quick release latch. You pull this up, and it's got a little thing. So you got to kind of unlatch it. And I try to pull back a little bit so you can see this here. Normally you have a cameraman and everything to do this, but we don't have the budget for that here. All right, so you can fold this guy in half, and I recommend if you're doing this and taking it and putting it in the back of a car or something that you take the battery out. Use the key, take the battery out. And all right, so I'm going to fold the handlebars down. So I have a little bit more room to play with. And then this guy just folds in half like this. And I'll show it to you all folded up. Got a little bar underneath so it's not going to hurt the chain. Kind of straighten that wheel out and pull that in here. And there she is. She's folded up like a sandwich. Let's see if I can turn it this way. There it is. Pretty cool, huh? And she will stand on her own. So you could put 2 of these as we did. We have 2 bikes in the back of this Jeep Wrangler, which is a small SUV. And it keeps them safe. Keeps them away from the weather, keeps them away from prying eyes, keeps them away from people who want to steal your bikes off your back rack, because those locks are pretty easy to cut. But they're in the back of your SUV. Chances are people aren't going to be able to see them. They're not going to be able to take them. And you don't have to worry about rain and weather. And it's just, if you can throw them in the back of a car, this is the way to do it. And that's the advantage of having a foldable bike. All right, so when you get to your destination, you've got it folded up. Just lift it down from your SUV.
So before you move it, Doris wants to know if there's a clip that keeps the bike folded up like that.
There is not. No, this is it. It's it just swings open. But you really don't need it because it's going to lay. These are laying by themselves. There's no kickstand or anything. So they pretty much stay stationary. If you wanted to, you could bungee them together in the back of a car or something. That's a really good question. But there is not a clip that I'm aware of. But you could probably make one. All right, so when you get to your destination, you just lift it up. Make sure you keep your skin and your fingers and your body parts away from that hinge. And again, it has that little clip there. Drop it in there. Put the quick release on. And then she is stable, not going anywhere. Super, super solid. Not going to fall apart on you while you're riding. And you put your handlebars up and then clip these back into place. Lock that in, and you are good to go. You've got a fully functional bicycle again. That's it. Those 2 steps, fold it back together, attach that clip, clip your handlebars in. you're good to go.
Producer Doris says you need to invent one.
Invent what?
A clip
A clip
to hold it together.
to hold it together? I don't think we really need one because it does stay together. When you have it in the back of the car, it pretty much stays where it's supposed to. I haven't had a problem. We've taken these things several places, haven't run into any problems. They sit next to them. There's a picture here. You can't really see it really well, but they're sitting right next to each other. And they just sat there. They didn't move at all. I did put a towel or something between them so they wouldn't scratch the paint. That's really the only thing I wanted to save it from. That's all you need to do here. All right, so we folded, unfolded. We took the battery off. So that gives you the capability to take it just about anywhere. All right, so it's got a controller on it. Let's see if you can see that. And this essentially is the onboard computer. This is what controls the pedal assist. It's going to show you your speed, how fast you're going. You can't see that, can you? I don't think you can. Anyway, it's showing me I'm going 23 miles an hour. It shows me how much battery I have left. It shows me how much energy I'm using at the moment. It will also count my trip meter, so I can see how far I've gone on the certain trip, and also have odometer, so I know how many miles I have on my bike, which is important, well, for bragging rights. Hey, man, I did 500 miles on my bike so far. How many did you do? None? And also for maintenance. This way you know exactly how many miles you have on the bike. So you want to take it in, get it tightened up, get a tune up, maybe put some oil on the chain or whatever. Have your motor checked out. That is important too. It's a good way to keep track of that as well. So this lights up. It is a monochrome. This is not full color, but this is a little easy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of the color ones are a little difficult to see in the sun. This you can see inside, outside. At nighttime, it has a backlight, which is all run by the battery. So that's great. Safety features. Well, it has all the safety features that all the electric bikes have. As soon as you hit the brake pedal, the brake handle, the lever, what this thing's called, all power to the motor stops. So even if you have full throttle, ooh, this thing's moved. So all right, let's try it. Full throttle. Cut this. See, I've got full throttle. I got a full throttle on. I got the throttle on full. And if I let go of this brake, I'm going to put a hole in my wall right here. So I don't want to do that. But this thing will move. 32, it said. See how great those brakes are? This brakes will shut it down. But yeah, that's why I said earlier, if you're walking around your house, you want
Why is it not on pedal assist?
this thing will, huh?
Okay,
Why is it not on pedal assist here? I don't know. I must have put it on one. But yeah, that will put a hole in your wall. But once you hit that brake, I can hit the throttle and won't do anything. Or I hit that, and it cuts all power to it. So that's good. It's good to show there, right? Yeah, that's good to show. And thank God that I have cat-like reflexes, or I would have put a hole in my own drywall. But this is a tremendous, yeah. Well, that's what you should do, okay? Turn this bad boy off by holding the mode button. Now nothing's going on. I can throttle, do whatever I want to do here. So 750 watts, we talked about that. That is a tremendous amount of power. And again, it's going to get you up to 28-ish miles per hour. That's a lot of speed. So you need to be careful when you're riding these electric bikes. If you do decide to make a decision to get one, insurance is a great idea for liability, theft, damage, and wear protection. It's a good idea to wear a helmet and some gloves and some padded stuff. And these really cool bike shorts. Look at these. This is where I do my model thing. You ready? These are cool. These have tremendous pockets, so you can put your keys in here. Oh God, I would have never found these again. And you put your phone in here, and they've got some pockets on the side too, right in the front here. So these are great. And these things are nice because they don't have the padding in them, but they have these black areas here which really stretch. They really stretch in areas that bikers would need them to stretch in. I probably said that all off microphone, so that's cool. So it does have a bunch of safety features in here. And it's a nice bike. It really is. It's a great ride. You rode this thing. What do you think of this bike?
I think that's fun.
It is a fun bike to ride. All right, so the main advantage of this for females, actually for men too, to be honest, I mean, the older we get, the less mobile we get, right? And the key, where's my tape measure? The key on this bicycle is the step through. So the step through models, it doesn't have a bar here. So you can step through, actually put your leg through here. And this one is just over 15 inches. The lowest point, it's about 15 inches. So if you have limited mobility and you can't kick your leg over the back of the bike, this is the model you're going to get. This is about as low as they go. You really don't have too many bikes to go lower than 15 inches. Felicia, will you be my step-through model
Sure.
and show these wonderful people how this works?
Sure.
Now, don't be all showing off now because you're all limber and young and all.
It's a nice step through.
How does that feel?
The seat's pretty high for me, but
The seat is a little high.
because you
I
put
could
it
take
up.
down.
You put it up.
I did. I put it up. So put this down. How tall are you? Tell these people how tall.
5'3".
And how did you feel riding this?
I loved it.
Can you sit on it now?
Yep.
I just told you to sit on it. You get your feet on the ground pretty square?
Yeah.
That's cool. At 5'3"?
5'3".
But it's still, I mean, if you're a little shorter than 5'3", what happens? Might be a little big for some people, right?
Yeah, in this seat, that's a rock star.
It is a nice seat. That's
That's
a
a
pretty
nice
comfortable
seat.
seat. Yeah, that's a good one. So it is. They come standard with this bike too,
Yeah,
as well as the
nice
rear
one.
rack too. So recommended height, according to the manufacturer, Wtva, about 5'3" to about 6'3".
Doris asks, training wheels?
I'm still looking. Doris asked about a tricycle. I'm trying to get my hands. I'm almost worked out a deal with a trike company. So we want to do some trikes. So we have some, well, her parents were looking into that too. Her dad wants a 3-wheel bicycle too. But I don't see why you couldn't put training wheels on here. But the trike is really where a lot of people with limited mobility can do. But you have to get your legs over the trike too. I think the trike is actually about the same height for step over. Might be a little difficult to get on that thing. So this is it. 750 watts of power, dual disc brakes, front suspension, which you can lock out if you want to. Nice, comfortable, chunky seat. 4-inch tires. Very, very nice. Takes you over any type of terrain, grass, dirt, sand, or just plain streets. Is going to be a nice, smooth ride over that. The rear rack comes standard. The lights are standard. A removable battery with a key lockout system, so somebody can't steal your bike. And somebody can't steal your battery as well. And you can remove the battery and charge it in your home. And if you have multiple batteries, you're able to swap them out fairly easily, right? 7-speed Shimano shifter, huh? So if you want to ride it like a regular bicycle, you can do that. And again, it's so much more fun to ride this thing when you don't have the stamina you did when you're 20 years old. You can ride this into the wind. You can take this up some small hills with inclines of not more than about 15%. But you could probably do a little bit more with this because it is a 750 watt motor. It's pretty powerful. How fast did you get this thing up to? You're at 20 something?
I was probably at 22, 23. And that's
Yeah.
really about the max I want to go.
Yeah. It starts getting a little weird after that, doesn't it? I'll tell you, when I was at 31 or wherever I was at, I was like, all right, I got to stop. It's too fast. And I was wearing a helmet at the time.
Doris wants to know if they have recumbent or tandems.
She asked that before, and that's a great question. I have not seen them in the electric category, but I would imagine that they're probably coming. If you think about it, a golf cart's kind of recumbent, right? But they don't have pedals on them yet. And I haven't seen any 4-wheel pedal cars either, but I am working on something that has something to do with that, which I can't talk about here. But how cool is this? And I love the colors. I wish they had other colors available, and I'm sure they'll come back. But again, you can paint them if you want to do that. But this is such a beautiful, it's like a reddish orange. I think they called it red orange. All right, so when you get these things, the tires are kind of flat. So remember we talked about you're going to do some assembly. This is about 95% assembled, but you're going to need to put the front tire on. And most of the time when these ship from overseas and they're going through freighters and different weather, and it loses some of the inflation in the tire. So this thing's great. This is the Wtva, which they sent us for promotional consideration, as well as the bike. So thank you, WTVA. Thank you, Wtva, for sending this to us. And this is actually meant to be a battery charger. Is this the Lightning deal?
This is the Lightning deal. It was $109, but don't forget to click the $20 coupon.
That's a great deal. So what is this? This is essentially a battery charger. If you need a jump start and there's just nobody around the jumper, it comes with jumper cables. It has a flashlight. I forget how to turn this on. I'm going to hold it on. There it is. Oh, look at that. It's a disco light. And also it has an air pump on this thing. It's an air compressor. Yeah, I'm off my microphone. So If you need to pump up your tires at any time, this is going to be able to do it. It's completely cordless. It's rechargeable, and it has a USB power bank on it too. So many cool things you can do with this thing. And I'm all about utilitarian stuff. You things like, I don't want something that just does one thing. I want something that does three. So with the flashlight, the jump starter, the battery power bank, and also the air compressor built in. You just press this button. It's pretty cool. It actually makes the noise. Listen. How cool is that? And you can set this up from, I think, like 1 PSI all the way up to 150 PSI. You can pump up your balls, your inflatable inner tubes, your pools, and of course your bicycle tires. It comes with a whole bunch of different attachments too, but I leave this on there because I'm using this for bikes all the time.
You don't use that just for bikes, you can use it for other vehicles.
You can use it for your car, for your trailer, for your boats, your motorcycles. It works for anything. It goes for your balls, for your inflatable beds, for your swimming pools, anything you need to use an air compressor for. It's just really handy to have around in the garage. All right. Do we have any questions about the beautiful Wtva step through? It's called the HEBE 1.0. Look at that. Look how easy that is to get. Huh? Like me, I'm super limber. I get my leg over the back, but if you have limited range of mobility, you kind of put your foot right through here. And it's 15 inches, one of the lowest step throughs you can get in this category in the foldable bikes. And it's the 20-inch wheels. I know that a lot of people who are on the shorter side, if you're less than like 5'5", those 26-inch bikes are just a little bit too big. Even the step throughs are a little bit too big. So these 20 inches give you an alternative, something that you're going to feel a little safer, a little more comfortable on, and be able to ride and get on and dismount. Because you have to stop and start, and you're going to have to put your feet down. What's nice about this step through is even if you're a guy, you don't have that bar here. So if you're not super tall, you kind of step right here and you're good to go. You feel real comfortable when you're stopping and starting this thing. And again, it's foldable, so you can take it anywhere. And that is the game changer on these bad boys. I love foldable bikes. We have so many of those things here. And those are the big ones, the big hit of 2022. Foldable electric bikes, kind of the next big thing. And you'll start seeing these, if you haven't, all over the place. We're starting to see these all over Florida now. And we're kind of behind the curve for some reason. We get everything last here, but we're starting to see more and more of these things. And again, at this price, how much are these? Is it 11?
It is $11.99.
$11.99. So it's well under $1,500. Is there a coupon? There's a $60 coupon or something?
$60 coupon on that one.
So make sure you hit that coupon if you're buying that on. If you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, come over to Amazon.com. We have a whole carousel underneath here, and we can answer your questions too. I apologize, people watching us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, who's asking us questions. We can't get to those right here. But ask us those questions on Amazon Live, Amazon.com/live. You can find Let's Chat with us there. All right, so I'll hang out for a second. I'll do a little dance and singing action while we're waiting for any last-minute questions to come in. We're coming back on for one more show today. At 3 o'clock, we're going to talk about the Jayceon Eb7, which is an electric bike, 500-watt model, a little bit less. I think it's under $1,000 too. Which is
You're going to be cooking with the next bike, Doris says?
I want to cook again. Actually, Felicia got a new toy, and she's dying to show it to you. And we're going to need to bring Mario or Maria or one of our cooking shows back for Taco Tuesday to show this thing, because it's really, really cool. We just got all the stuff for it too. I don't want to spoil it, but it's made by Ninja.
Chad wants to know how are the shorts.
These are cool, man. These are nice. These are really cool. Now, they don't have padding, but I don't really need padding because I've got this chunky, big, fat seat here. So this takes the padding. But these are nice, right? They're adjustable. I have large. I have a 34-inch waist. But they've got these adjustments here, these little Velcro straps. If you need to tighten them a little more, you can tighten them.
Show all those pockets and how deep they are.
Look at all these are. I can put my phone. I've got an iPhone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm moving out of camera here. I'm going to stand here because this is where the microphone is. So I can put, this is an iPhone 13 Pro Max, fits right in here. Right in there. So it sits there. And also there's this pocket too. This is the deeper pocket. This is where I put my phone. You can't even see it. Phone is in there, completely obscured.
And zipped up, that's great.
And zipped up, yeah. And it's got some pockets up here too. Kind of like a hidden pocket up here, which just about fits the phone on here. But they're super comfortable, super light. They have the that material, I think it's a microfiber that kind of wicks your perspiration away, so it keeps you nice and dry as well. Actually, I could wear these with the pens underneath them.
Oh, good Lord.
And I would never have to stop.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, I have a little additional padding. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I do now.
I've done it. I'm not kidding. It's good stuff. All right. Do we have any further questions on the beautiful WTVA? You can get it in black on Amazon, and black is a beautiful color for the bike.
Yeah.
It hides dirt.
Use your cricket nets.
You can
Oh.
use your cricket. Felicia, you need to come back on and do some cricket
I'm
and
thinking
brother scan and cut
You
shows.
should. You've got
Yeah,
a couple
and you-
new things.
And you got your sewing machine too.
Got it.
So make sure you like or subscribe, right? Or follow. What do we do on Amazon? We follow. Follow us and you'll be notified every time we come on the air. We got a bunch of different shows. Felicia likes to do a bunch of different craft
Yes.
stuff. So we do some cooking. We do some electronics, and we're going to do a drone show as well.
Doris said something about hammer shorts for even more room.
I could wear the hammer. So I'm afraid that they would get caught in the chain.
And Vanessa the barber checked in. Said,
Vanessa, what's going on? Good to see you again. I do have ramen pants too, which I did wear on a cruise.
Oh, he did. He did.
Actually, we should do another Amazon live from the MSC Marigavilla. You guys cruisers, you big cruisers? Yeah, we want to do another live show from a cruise ship. So we've done like 2 or 3 live shows from cruise ships, and I think we're going on one next Thursday.
Yep.
So maybe we'll do a live on Amazon as well as some of our other channels. So we'll see how the internet is out there. Well, thank you guys for checking in. We're going to be back on at 3 p.m. today. We're going to talk about the last bike of the day, which is the Jayceon Eb7, another great bike, a little less expensive than this. Doesn't have as many features, but nonetheless still a great bike. But if you're in the market for a bike, you want to step through a little bit on the shorter side, you need something you can pop on the back of the SUV or the trunk, this WTVA is a great deal, and it comes with a bunch of stuff. And of course, this is 750 watts, 28 miles an hour. That is insane. 28 miles an hour plus. This thing's super fast. It's wicked.
Fast.
One of the fastest bikes I've ever ridden. All right. My name is Fresh. I'm going to go take a little break, and we're going to come back in and see you here on Amazon Live at what time?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock with the 3 o'clock Eastern with the
No,
with
with
the Jayceon.
Jason.
All right, for Felicia. Wait, you can't hear me now.
Nope, can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? We'll be back on at 3 o'clock with the Jayceon. This thing's gonna fall on my head with the EB7. Thanks for watching. For Felicia, my name is Fresh, and
Bye, Felicia.
you can't even hear that, can you?
Welcome to the funniest show in the world, more specifically on Amazon Live. With loads of crafts and cooking, you can follow along. The Fresh and Felicia Show. This is the Fresh and Felicia Show.